Say hello.
Are we starting?
I don't know. I thought they'd go here and that'd be the background.
Feeling good. You know me. I'm all about my business. No apologies. I run a life fitness. Can't believe in this moment. I'm free. I'm free. Yeah. Look good, smell good, it's a vibe. It's a vibe on my wrist, it's about that time. I gotta go big cause I got that. Gotta go big cause I got one life. I'm feeling good. Getting better. Feeling good. I can't let it go. I'm feeling good. Cause I never say never. Cause I find my place where I'm always feeling good.
We used to take a vacation with our family and cousins and everybody, and we went to Pensacola, Florida, and I got to go boating with them a lot, and every year I just fell in love with it. And then as soon as I was old enough and able to, my first boat was an SS-176 Glastron with a 115. I went out to the local boating here at the river, and some guy came by me in another boat and he outran me. So I went back to the dealership and I said, okay, how big can we put on this? He says, well, we could put up to a 175. I said, put a 175 on it. I went back out to the river and he beat me again. So I came back to the dealership. I said, how much is that one? And it was a 20-foot Hydrostream Vulture. I said, how big a motor can we put on that? He said, we can do a 225. I said, give me that one. I went back out to the river and I smoked him. Overall, I think I had 17 Hydrostreams over about a 3-year period. And if you could drive a Hydrostream, you can drive anything. Those guys you're on the pad, you're floating it, you're flying it, and everything else became easy. Then I had a customer come in and ask me if I'd ever heard of something called a skater, and I hadn't. He says, well, they say it'll run 100 with 200s on it, or a 24 skater. He said, you believe that? And I said, probably, let's check it out. So we went up to Lake Winnipesaukee and took it for a ride. It went 103, and I was bit by the bug. He was bit by the bug, so I called Pete and said, can I buy one of these things? And he said, sure. I think I sold 5 or 6 of them that year, and I couldn't believe the pounding this thing would take. And I'm like, holy smoke. So next thing you know, I've had a couple of them, and I got an offer to sell my boat, and the gentleman over in Dubai that was starting Victory Team bought it and air freighted it over, and then they called and said, you know, would you come over here and run this with us, help us with the team for a race? And I said, you bet. It was really cool because we had basically an unlimited budget. If we could dream it up and try it, they were game.
Dubai government's invested over $5 million into one of the most sophisticated teams of the world.
We have a rigging bay, a place that we lift the boats on and off the trailers, change engines, do all of the mechanical and rigging on the boats. Of course, the engine shop. Then we have a fiberglass shop where we build the boats ourselves. Everything is built in-house, all carbon composites and Kevlar and vacuum bag epoxy. Everything is built here. We have a carpenter shop to do the plugs, to make the molds and then make the boats. And so eventually we'll have everything in-house except some of the engine technology. Went over there, hit it off with those guys, and they asked me to stay, and we ended up working something out and staying there, and next thing you know, we're building boats, and we were just going full steam ahead and started a race team. We started winning all the European stuff. We decided to come over here, and we won the stuff over here with multiple classes, outboards and inboards, modified class back then.
True grit and determination put Dubai's Victory Team at the top of the table. They'd beaten the best in the world fair and square, and from a tourism point of view, have put Dubai firmly on the map.
I had 5 months a year off because it was too hot in the Middle East. One of my friends owned Advantage Boats, Harry Christensen, and he said, Randy, you need to start a boat company. I said, man, I don't know about that. He said, no, it's what you need to do. He says, everybody knows you. I think you'd be great at it. So he talked me into getting into the boat business, and So we built our first boat, and second boat, and third boat, and now here we go.
How were you feeling to start your own company? Was nervous or were you excited?
Well, as far as building the boat side of things, we had done enough of it over the years over there. We built a lot of boats and had a lot of experience, so that part wasn't scary. The business part, a little more so. You know, we're going to spend the money and do all the tooling and buy all the molds, and hopefully we're going to sell them. And I was running around with a little folder and showing people drawings, and they'd step up, and several of them bought boats without ever having a boat.
He's always been, you know, very German. He doesn't know what the word no is or can't. That's not in his vocabulary. And so people find that out very quickly. And so I was always amazed at the hurdles that he could overcome and do, where other people were like, oh, I can't do that, okay. You know, and you walk and he would no. You know, he'd find a way to get it done. They put a lot of trust and faith in us, and it was really great that they were able to do that. Yeah, buddy, so this is our 34. This was our first model of the 34 before we had a boat. We took this to the boat show to show it. That was our first 42V that we did, again, before we had a boat to actually take to the boat show. So these are the models that kind of started the whole process.
They listen to their customers, which is huge. Randy and his entire family and his team are boaters, so they're out doing the thing and going to the events and taking feedback and instilling into their product, which is commendable.
I'm a pretty hard customer to make happy, and Randy always finds a way to make me happy.
At any point are you like, we got too many options for people?
No, I love options, man. Keeps everybody happy.
It's about making sure that the screws are right, the paint's right, the windshield you can see out of it right. I mean, it's just about all the above.
What can we talk about Randy?
You know, every time I'd have a harebrained idea and say, hey, well, what about this? You know, like the 48, when we kind of came out with that, it was like, well, I want a bigger boat. He's like, well, how much bigger? And I'm like, I don't know, what do you think? He's like, well, maybe 2 feet. And I'm like, okay, let's do 3. You know, anything you could come up with, he would work with you. And, you know, and sometimes he would tell you, that's probably not a good idea, but.
This is Johnny Tomlinson. He stopped by today to have coffee with us.
I've always looked up to Randy because I've always seen him just maintain a cool, level head, not, you know, go off in the extreme or not just, you know, make irrational decisions. You know, I think everything he does, he's well thought out and planned and calculated, and he does a great job at it. Now, maybe behind the scenes, or maybe them two in the raceboat together, I don't know. But, you know, I don't see Randy get upset. Everybody tells me that's not the case. Like, well, Bob, that's not the case. I don't see it, right? Randy's always been cool. Randy's always been, you know, level-headed to me.
I've got several customers that like to come in and build the boats as much as own the boats. I mean, they just love the process.
I'm Randy from MTI. Glad to meet you guys.
Well, don't forget, we get the 50% discount.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
And I already own 10 of your boats too, so we're all good. I don't discriminate, I buy them all.
I love these guys.
I don't need a commission. I'm just trying to make
Obviously, the 450s are our bread and butter, if you will. This is our most popular engine package, both for the Cat and the V-bottom. And then we have 4 of the 600s going on one of the 50s. We haven't run, yeah, it'll be our first one. Partnering with Mercury is for sure the best thing we've ever done. Inboards, outboards, it doesn't matter what it is. They are at a different level than everything else. They put the pleasure back in performance boating, you know. Used to be we had lots of problems and people loved their boat and hated their motors, or now it's to the point where they're like a Swiss watch. Those things just run great. I did my first 48 with 1100s with the new 3-year warranty. Now I have clients that can buy boats, have real strong performance. I mean, these are 150 mile an hour 48-foot boats with 1100s. They can run on 89 octane. They can boat for a year or 2, still sell their boat with a 1-year warranty, and the next guy doesn't have to worry about it. So I think it's going to bring back the inboard world a lot. We have a fun run every year, a couple of them. As many of them as we can get in, we bring in, and We throw a party once a year in the Keys, Owners Appreciation Fun Run, and that's our favorite event. I think I brought 20 some odd people this year to help, and they come, they enjoy it, they go boating for 3 days. When they come back to the dock, they go to their hotel, the restaurants, whatever they want to do. We wash them, we clean them, we flush them. The next morning they're uncovered, they're wiped down, they're ready to go, and we go boating. It's just the most fun we can make it, and it's, for me and a lot of my clients, I think it's their favorite fun run of the year.
Taylor's done an awesome job of putting that division together, I think, and to where I have a lot more friends that have the same common interests now than I would ever dreamed I would have. And we've seen some beautiful places.
I'm actually very pleasantly surprised at the amount of time and effort she's putting in. I wasn't sure in the beginning if she was going to go to work for the company or go do something else, but she graduated, and we talked, and she's come to join us, and she started off helping us with the PR side of things, the public relations stuff. She's helping us in sales. She does great with the sales, and I think the racing part of it is a big step in helping us, I think, more street credibility than anything.
So this starts our cat side. Here we've got our brand new race boat that we'll be racing next week in Cocoa Beach, so we're really excited about that. Get everything finished up and ready. I
was actually, impressed that he asked me. You know what I mean? That he thought enough of me to race with Taylor, and I remember running Taylor home from one of the shootouts when she was a teenager. Randy asked me to drop her off, and just like kidding around on the hour drive back, I said, tell Dad to build you a race boat. I don't know how old she was then.
Johnny, so calm, cool, collected, and has just taught me so much. And he very much made sure that if we went out and tested and there's something I wasn't comfortable with, he knew it. Even if I didn't say it, he'd be like, nope, we're doing it again. He's like, you gotta get out there, you gotta be comfortable.
I would not, again, knowing her as the little girl, think that she was gonna do this, but she does great.
My favorite part of the job is probably the events, and in particular, the start of any fun run we do. So it's, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety that comes with all planning of the events and the execution, but the second we leave the docks and having that moment of turning around and seeing 60 MTIs behind you and going, oh my God, like, it almost gets me emotional because it's so cool to see. And we have customers who meet at those events that never knew each other and are from different parts of the country and are friends because of the boats they buy and the family environment we've been able to create.
I'm trying to build a team around her so that they can operate stuff if we're not there and get the right people. Yeah, I think she's going to take a bigger and bigger role as we go forward.
Cool. How do you and MTI continue to stay in the lead?
Hopefully I can keep working on the next one, and we can keep developing more and more product. Keep taking it to the next level, and I think we've got a great following, a great group of clientele that they've been great to us, and they're looking for the next level. So hopefully we can keep that up.